Point for me. Wagwan sports fans, welcome back to another very special episode of Studio Talk. And I'm Joe Mar,
I'm Rush.
and this are that Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and riveting sports topics, discussions, and debates on the internet.
Yes, people, before we get into episode 2 of Studio Talk, don't forget to like this video. Leave a comment under the video and subscribe to this or that Sports TV. The one more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day, people?
A lot. People, we have a pack show for you. 3 segments as usual. But we have to do some housekeeping. We have to update on it real quick. So, Studio Talk premiered a couple days ago. So, we have an official announcement. Studio Talk will be at least 3 times a week. And the days are, tell them, my bro.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays
At what time?
at 7 p.m. sharp.
Yeah. And you guys can also look forward to the segments posted as individual videos after the whole show. So look out for that. On today's show, though, what are the topics?
Well, first we start off with the big and bad All Manning versus All Dacosta Cup that is back again after a brief hiatus. This is something we've all been looking forward to, and I'm super excited. I'm gonna kick off the show by talking about that, and then we'll speak about our Reggae Boys. Keeping up with the Reggae Boys, a big staple on this or that Sports TV. Something we love and something you love, and then we'll close it off with our weekly FPL show. Great lineup.
All right, here we go. I'm excited to get into it. Especially talk about the first topic. People, this is Studio Talk, and stay tuned. We'll be back with the first topic after this. All right, welcome back to Studio Talk. Let's get into it, bro. All Manning versus All Dacosta Cup team will be played. The match will be played on the 14th of January. That's 7 days from now. Will be a really good game. We're going to talk about the squads. We're going to talk about the snubs. But let's do a quick recap of the season, man. How do you feel about this year's schoolboy football season? I think it was a really good one, but how do you feel about it?
Besides the season that Joe Graham would have played, of course, me bringing some magic to the Manning Cup. I think this season was the most outstanding season. We saw great football, we saw great storylines, we saw drama, we saw super teams, we saw underdog teams, we saw great coaching, we saw mistakes, and we saw triumph. It was an amazing season.
All right. From my perspective, I feel like it was a really good season. I have to say, Isan Sports, the sponsors did a really good job to make the season something for people to look forward to next year. With all of the props that they have at the games and the billboards that they put up at all of the TV games, the televised games really look good. The stardom that they built around some of the players. Like some of these players, you think that they're professionals at this point. The way they talk about them on the shows, and we did our part. Making sure that.
I was just about to say, why are you giving away our credit? I think that we did a lot in the facet of star building this season, which is very important and which is the role that we play. But I definitely think that we played a major role in bringing these players to the people.
Here we go. All right, so I'm going to put the squads up on the screen and then we're going to talk about it real quick. All right, so first up, we have the All Manning team. I'll run through it real quick, bro. You can put it up on the phone. So we have Rasico Rose and Akeem Bernard as the 2 goalkeepers. I don't know why they went with 2 side 2. I think most teams will go with 2, but they have 2. Not fight it. I guess more outfield players to see. Michael Graham from JC, the defender, really good player. Romain Blake from Jamaica College also. Xavier Davids, the second from Jamaica College also. Those are the 3 defenders from JC. Then you have Blaine Byrne from Kingston College, Dan Hugh Mitchell from Mona High School, and Rashard Frankson from Stats.
Interesting.
Yeah, those are the defenders for the All Manning team. For as far as the forwards go, we have Javier Lynch from Jamaica College. We have Macon Aldridge from Jamaica College. We have Dujan Richards from
No
Kingston.
surprise.
Yeah, we have Dujan Richards from Kingston College. We have Zane Pinnock from Mona High School. Andre Salman, Omar Reed, and Shaquan Satchwell from Stats. Then we have Jawan Payne from Haile Selassie High. We have Jamali Bennett from Jamaica College. Kevin Wilson from Jamaica College. Damoy Whitfield from Mona High School. I think that's a really good selection. Mikael Ellis from St. Catherine High. Nicoy Gale from Stats. And Daniel Watson from Tivoli Gardens.
Can't wait to talk about this team.
Man, we have to talk about it real quick. First of all, let's talk about the goalkeepers. Jessica Rose and Akeem Bernard. I feel like those are showings. Those are one of the first names on the paper. Those are the two best goalkeepers in the Manning Cup this year. How do you feel about those two selections?
I think those are the best two goalkeepers in terms of who is the best goalkeeper. But we've seen years where Luka Modric manages to win that Ballon d'Or over the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, and Messi. We've seen years where the best player in a particular position is not necessarily the best player on the season. And, well, I guess it's a hard one. It's a hard one to have the stats goalkeeper not be included after such an outstanding Manning Cup, especially knockout stages. He was absolutely outstanding, and I think young Williams might be a bit gutted to not have been included in this squad.
Yeah, I'm wondering why did they go with two goalkeepers instead of three? Most teams will see with three goalkeepers, even though you will not see three play.
So in the Manning Cup, they allot spots for two goalkeepers.
Yeah, on the bench.
So this is, I guess, based on the Manning Cup standard, not the international standard, because it's the same method of squad selection as you would do throughout the season, and there are only two goalkeepers that can be registered on any given day. So I guess that's why I opted to go with two.
Jaheim Williams for Stats. You mentioned him a while ago as one of the biggest snubs, on this team. I feel like he definitely should have made this team on performance. What he did for his team, whenever we see Stats without him, we see a different team. And that's not even because he affects the way they play football, but the security that he gives them at the back. Those defenders, those outfield players, knowing that they can count on him to make a save, knowing that they can count on him to steal a point here or there, to win them all three, is a very important thing. And going with them all the way to the finals, going to the semi-finals of the Champions Cup, that's a big deal. And him not making the squad, it's really hard. But I don't think I would, remove Jessica Rose or Akeem Bernard to give Jaheim Williams a spot. But he deserves a mention. I have to mention him.
Well, Akeem Bernard decided Sports TV's goalkeeper of the season. And both Jessica Rose and Williams made a strong case for that award. Akeem Bernard narrowly edging them out because of his stuff other than his goalkeeping, which I think would have given him the edge for that award. But it's tough on young Williams. As I said, I think he deserves a spot, but if there are only two spots, it's hard, right?
It's very hard. Let's talk about the three Jamaica College defenders. We have Michael Graham, Remain Blake, and Xavier Davis in the second. Three good defenders, three of the best defenders in Manning Cup this year for sure. As wing back, Michael Graham goes under the radar, but he's a really, really good player. And Xavier Davidson and Remain Blake really and truly picks themselves. For me, I don't know about you, but those defenders must be there if we're going to select an all-Manning team.
Yeah, and as I said, I wasn't necessarily keen on any of the wing backs this season in Manning Cup, and as such, no wing back was able to make our team of the season because we weren't keen on the wing back. We just believed that four central defenders, who are all here, I might add, would have deserved a spot in our 11. But as far as wing backs go, I think Michael Graham is the pick of the bunch. So if you're selecting a team and wing backs have to be included, I think you cannot look past Michael Graham. However, I definitely think that a centre back, the likes of Xavier Gooden, would have been better suited in a squad like this over the likes of Michael Graham. I genuinely believe that this year was a year of the centre back and not a year of the wing back. And as such, I would put square pegs into round holes. It's an all-star game after all, and I think the best should be selected, and it's a travesty that Xavier Gooden was not selected.
Yeah, and I think Alex Xavier Gooden, especially when we see his teammate Rashad Frankson in the
Yeah.
team. No, I heard some whispers going around that a lot of the players that were selected into the under 17 team, or the players that are in the under 17 team, seeing that they're at a training camp and they might not be available for this game, they were not selected. They were thinking about Nashard Gibbs and Denzel Washington McKenzie and Alex Xavier Good, some of the really good players. None of them made this team. No player from the under 17 team
Yeah.
is in this squad. And even under the Dacosta Cup side, some players that are at the under 17 training camp, they are not in the Dacosta Cup All-Star team. So we can bear that in mind when we speak about it, but if we're going to disregard that, which we can do also, Alex Xavier Good must be in this team, especially
in a situation like that, what should happen is he should get selected to the team, and then a replacement is sought out for him. He should have been selected and then be replaced upon his unavailability. But there's no way that this team is going to be posted for years to come, and people are going to look back and say this was the 2022 All Manning Cup team.
You'll be on the CV.
Alex Xavier will not be on it. Exactly. So those names have to be included, whether or not they'll be available to play, in my opinion.
Yeah, because right now, as it stands, Alex Xavier Gooden is not a Jamaican high school all-star. He's not. And that is madness. For anybody that watched schoolboy football this year knows that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So Alex Xavier Gooden, I would say, is the biggest star of this all-star team. What do you think?
He will be back. He'll be back next year though, and he'll be leading the team out this year. I'm curious to see who will be leading this team out though. So many leaders and a lot of team captains are here. We see the likes of Blaine Byam and Akeem Bernard and Xavier Davidson. There are a lot of team captains on this team. Like, who do you think will lead this team out?
To lead the team. Oh, it just might be Xavier Davidson. They might give it to the winning team. Give the captaincy to the winning team.
And we never spoke about who we think will start. The likes of Rosika Rose and Akeem Bernard.
We're going to do a starting lineup after. We just go through the squad right now, talk about the squad. Right. And then we're going to talk about the starting lineup. We also have Dan Hugh Mitchell and Rashad Francis to round out. I mentioned Rashad Francis a while ago, but Dan Hugh Mitchell, also one of the players that fixed himself, scoring 20 goals in the Manning Cup as a defender, while also playing well in his defensive role. So,
oh my goodness, outstanding. And then as it relates to the attacking players, Javier Lynch, I think Javier Lynch being included over the likes of Brian Burkett.
Yep.
That's something that I'm not really sure how I feel about. Brian Burkett, though, playing in a team that did not do very well or as well as they were expected to do, Brian Burkett was stellar in every step he made. Every single thing he did was outstanding. He started in a forward position because of George's lack of depth in attacking positions and solid midfield ability, and he scored many goals. When he dropped off, he absolutely bossed the game. Brian Burkett is one of the best players in Jamaican schoolboy football right now, and I think this would have been his first shot to have made this team because of COVID and so on and so forth. It's unfortunate that he will not be playing in the National Stadium on the weekend.
You say you're not sure about how you feel about it. I'm sure, man. I don't like it. Brian Burkett not making this team is, decisions are awful decision. Yes, Javier Lynch scored a lot of goals for JC. He did well for Jamaica College, but when it came to crunch time, he did not start those games, and his goals dried up in the crunch time of the competition. No, Brian Burkett didn't make it to those parts of the competition, but he also scored a lot of goals. At one point, he was the leading goal scorer. In the I think in the middle of the first round before we took off. At some point, he was the standout player in the Manning Cup. We were doing shows and having Brian Burkett leading the topic. So I feel like this is one of the biggest snubs also, especially in a team that is so forward heavy. It's top heavy. We see a lot of forwards on the team. We're going to go through it. In fact, they listed some players as midfielders who are forwards. So if you're going to do that, why not include one of the most versatile players that could have made the squad, Brian Burkett, who can play as a forward or as a midfielder, as a number 8 or as a number 10 or as a centre forward. So I don't necessarily like this pick. There are some players, not only Javier Lynch, but there are some players that he could also make it over. Another player in the team is Bakwan Aldridge. I have no problems with that one. I have no problem.
Yeah, McConaughey is another player that made our team of the season. Outstanding player, big and strong and fast and versatile. And is a fan favorite. You know, the people love McConaughey and McConaughey loves the people. People want to see that braided hair and that headband and those gloves and that flair. Definitely one for an All-Star game. Well deserved McConaughey. No qualms, complaints, or queries at all about that selection.
Yeah, I like McConaughey as a player, and one thing I really like about him is he's kind of a showman. You know, I can't say he's show off or anything, but he enjoys the game. And when McConaughey is enjoying his football, you know, we always get a really good game.
He's enjoying his football. We are enjoying his football. Let's just say that.
Exactly. And if he's on it on this day, we'll get a really good All-Star game from McConaughey. He's one of those players that are built for an All-Star game. The D player.
Yeah, could he be the one to wear the captain armband to lead out the team, though not being a captain this season? I wouldn't be surprised.
All right.
Tell the MVP the best player in the season, an All-Star game. Slap the armband on the guy and send him out. Don't you think?
I wouldn't be surprised. But the player, we mentioned a while ago that McConaughey could be, you know, what the player for an All-Star game, but the player for the All-Star game.
For any game.
For any game is Dujan Whisper Richards. You know, he'll definitely start in this game. And I'm expecting a really good one. This player, you know, is the first name. I said that Akim Bernard and Rasika Rose were one of the first names. This is the first name on the paper. This is the first name on the team sheet. This is the first name for the 20. This is the first name on any schoolboy list in the country. How do you feel about this?
He will be the number 10.
He'll definitely be the number 10.
Yeah, he'll get the number 10 shirt. And trust me, this is a team with a lot of number 10s on it.
He'll get any number he wants, bro. If he wants a number 1, then I'm telling you, Whisper will have the number 1.
And the likes of Zane Pinnock, outstanding season, Salman, Omar Reed, those guys were all guys who I don't necessarily think were the best player on their team, but all did ridiculously well in order to get their team in the positions that, you know, their team needed to be in. You talk about Zane Pinnock playing on a team with Akeem Bernard and Don Hugh Mitchell, but Zane Pinnock was definitely one of the leaders on that team. I think probably the third or the fourth best player on that team, but an outstanding player and a senior player, and he played as such. Really matured from last season, deserved his spot. Omar Reed the same. You know, just an absolute baller. Underrated, the most underrated player in the whole Manning Cup this year for me. Omar Reed, I'm so happy he gets his spot. But another man that we have to take a one stop, as they would say when coming off of a taxi on, is Shaquan Satchel. Have to speak about this guy at length.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the players that will also give us a great game. Shaquan Satchel, you know, he's the man for St. Andrew Technical High School, and he's not shy about it. You know, he's the best player on the team. He's one of the best players in the Manning Cup. Definitely top 2, and I don't think he's 2 at the moment. Shaquan Satchel is also a player built for a star game. You know, I think we will know when Shaquan Satchel is on the pitch. And I want to see the stats supporters come out and give this kid a shot. It's his last year of schoolboy football. So I'm sure he'll get minutes. And I just want to see him on the ball, see him do well. You spoke about what he means to the St. Andrew Technical High School team, and that alone puts him into the squad, along with the fact that he scored double-digit goals and got double-digit assists. You know, so Shaquan Satchel, one of the players that also picks himself in this team.
Should get the number 7 shirt.
Number 7.
Yeah, that's the number he wore, and I don't see anybody contesting him for his regular number. So we have Payne Bennett. You know, those two guys I think will be peripheral players in the squad. But
bro,
make it to the team.
I have a problem here. Payne and Bennett are good players, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I like them as players. But when we talk about Ramarian Thomas from Mona High School, one of the most versatile players in schoolboy football this season. When we talk about Samuel Shakes, also one of the star men for Kingston College. Come on. Are these really the 2 best midfielders to select over Ramarian Thomas and a Shaquan Satchel over Saviola? No, not Shaquan Satchel, but Samuel Shakes and Saviola Blake. Man, have huge problems at the midfield area, man.
Yeah, I think the only one I'm really impressed that they got, and I think they got it right, was Damar Whitfield. But then I think they got so many other ones wrong. I thought Damar Whitfield would not have gotten these plaudits because of the type of role that he plays. And in Jamaica, his abilities tend to go underappreciated. So I'm very happy to see Damar Whitfield from Mona into this team, the heartbeat of the Mona High School team. but then so disappointed not to see Romarion Thomas. And even more disappointed not to see one of this or that sports TV's fan favorites, Samuel Shakes. Samuel Shakes, an outstanding player, a cerebral player, a player who takes as little touches as possible to get the maximum reward from these touches. A player that was a driving force in Kingston College getting to where they got to. Samuel Shakes has to be in this All-Star team.
Scoring one of the goals of the season.
Yeah?
In a very important quarter-final game. Also, Saviola Blake. If you're going to have Jamali Bennett in the squad, they play on the same team. And Saviola Blake, I feel like, was a more important part of that JC team. So I don't quite understand that selection. I feel like Saviola Blake should have made that slap. But let's speak about some of the other midfielders in this squad. We have Kevin Wilson.
Saka, very good player, one of the standout players. Jamaica College's playmaker and creator. They relied on him heavily this season, and without him, I don't think they would have been in the same team. And I'm not sure if amidst all these other superstar players, if he'll get a start.
Yeah.
But definitely well-deserved selection for this All-Star team, for sure.
Yeah, I like that selection. He's one of the players that can go under the radar very easily. So the fact that the people responsible for picking this team selected him, I'm happy with that. Nikhil Ellis from St. Catherine High, in the early parts of the competition, was lighting it up, going double digits goals early, and being the star man for St. Catherine High. So I don't mind that selection. Nikhil Gale and Daniel Watson rounds it out. Again, not star name players, but players that did well for their school.
Daniel Watson a big baller. I'm so happy that he got included from Tivoli Gardens. He wreaked havoc and he was so good on the wings for his team, creating so much havoc, getting so many squares in, scoring some goals. Really good inclusion. I'm very impressed with that one. Big up to Watson from Tivoli.
Yeah. Overall a good team. All these players on this team are ballers. Really, really good players. People, you heard the snubs, the people that we think that should have made this team and didn't make the team. Who do you think are some of the players that should have made it? Tell us your snubs. Tell us who you're most excited to see in this game. And we'll tell you right now, bro, who are you looking forward to seeing in this game? Because this side of Sports TV will be there, correct?
That is it. Whisper, Shaka, Akeem Bernard or Sika Rose, I think both of them will play. Akeem Bernard will have fun. I love that about him. I'm also looking forward to seeing Romain Blake. I think Romain Blake will really do a lot of theatrics on the field because he's doing that in high pressure final situations. So I can't imagine what he'll do in a no pressure All-Star game. Yeah. We definitely look forward for pile and salad from Romain Blake from the back. I expect. Yeah. Should be a very good game. You want to run through a starting 11 real quick?
Let's do it. Akeem Bernard starts for me.
Well, he was the Decided Sports TV's goalkeeper of the season, so I guess by default I have to start him. Akeem Bernard gets the start. Yeah. I think for he will enjoy himself and he'll dance and he'll be jovial. But I think Rasika Rose can provide more, like in terms of footballing wise, passing the ball over the top. But Akeem Bernard with that 100-yard goal kick. For sure. Yeah, we want to see that in an All-Star game. So Akeem Bernard starts for me.
There we go. The defenders, I am going Romain Blake, Xavier Davidson, Donhue Mitchell, and Blaine Byam. Blaine Byam left, Romain Blake on the right. So
yeah, I wouldn't start. I did it in my team of the season, but I wouldn't start centre backs at wing backs in this team.
Blaine Byam is a left back, He played left back for KC last year.
Yeah, well, he played centre back this season for Kingston College, and Michael Graham is a left back. So I would have to start Michael Graham at the left back if we're using left back position. Me personally, had I coached this team, I'd probably use 3 central defenders. But I would use Michael Graham. I would use Romain Blake at right back. And then I would use Xavier Davidson and Blaine Byam as my two. Xavier Davidson and Donhue Mitchell as my 2 central defenders. That's how I would start off the team. So Blaine Byam wouldn't necessarily make the pick for this one. I'd go with Michael Graham, considering that he's a true left back, and I think Romain Blake would have been the best right back had he played right back. Simple as that. And then
in the midfield, let me hear your midfield.
My midfield, and I would start with Adama Whitfield. I think he's underrated. He was one of the best central defensive midfielders in the competition this year. He competed with the likes of Samuel Blake, who is not there. Samuel Shakes can play deep, who is also not there. So I would start Damar Whitfield. Start Damar Whitfield. Um,
Yeah, this one is hard. The attacking midfielder is I think I'm going
yeah,
to.
I would start Damar Whitfield. I guess Ellis, based on everything that he's offered. Start Damar Whitfield, Ellis, and I would start Shakwan Satchel in the
Yeah,
midfield.
that's the exact midfield I would go for also. The
Yeah.
attacking line for me though would be didn't ever mention Whisper, but the other two positions would be Shaquan Satchwell and I think this is the one. It has Zane Pinnock or Makwan Aldrich for me. I'm going Makwan Aldrich and Zane off the bench, but yeah, those are the three players.
I had Shakwan Satchel in my midfield, so I would go Dijon Richards, Makanaj, and Zane.
Oh, you said Shaka, not Saka. I
Yeah,
thought
Shak,
it was
not
Saka in the
Saka.
midfield.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I'd go
Shakwan.
Saka.
Yes,
Sorry.
I'd go Shakwan Satchel, Zane Pinnock, and Dijon Richards as my three forwards.
Here we go. Did they mention a coach like who would take charge? But
No,
I'd
no,
assume that
no.
it would be
That
David
is my
Ferguson and
coach.
Lenny Hyde.
Yeah, that would be, I think, par for the course. I think that would be perfectly justified if those would be two coaches.
Yeah. All right, people. That's the first segment of Studio Talk. It's Al Manning versus Al Dacosta game. Really good one. This or that Sports TV will be there. People, before we continue, don't forget to like this one. Leave a comment on that video and subscribe to this or that Sports TV. Do one more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us just 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day, people?
There we go. People, Studio Talk. And the next segment, we'll be talking about some Reggae Boys. It's our favorite topic, people. So stay tuned after this one. All right, welcome back to Studio Talk. It's time for keeping up with the Reggae Boys. What you say, bro? Ready for talk about some Reggae Boys?
That is it, bro. That is my favorite thing to talk about over anything else, not the whole entire. Besides some things that we probably can't talk about, but this or that sports TV. But things that we can talk about on this or that sports TV, the Reggae Boys have to be amongst, the top of the top of the top of the top of things that I like to talk about. Sorry for making it unprofessional and a very professional show.
Oh, yeah, no fighting. The first thing I want to talk about is the coach, Imar Himmer Algrimson. It's been said that he's in England doing the rounds, meeting with players, selling the projected players, recruiting players for the Jamaica senior men's team. This is exciting news. He was at the World Cup, so I feel like, are the Jamaican, senior setup turning a new leaf here? What are we seeing?
They have turned a new leaf, I'm just looking for them to continue flipping the pages. That's what I'm looking for them to continue to do because we've seen improvements, we've seen new appointments that have done very well for the football already and will continue to do well. I'm excited about the coach. I was excited about him, and I'm excited that it seems as though the JFF is giving him the resources and the support to do what needs to be done in order to qualify and to do well in the upcoming World Cup. And the campaign starts right now. We have the Nations League in March. We have the Gold Cup in the summertime. And God knows we want to win both of these competitions. And it is very possible. Can we go to the Azteca and snatch a 1-0 win off Mexico? Who knows? Can we go to the Gold Cup and put in a very, very, very good tournament run? I think we possess the ability to. And if Hagrimson can manage to secure 2 or 3 players to come and don the black, green, and gold before the springtime, Jamaica will be in good hands and on a good trajectory to go forth and dominate.
Yeah, man, I share all those sentiments. Let's speak about some of the players that it's rumored that he's meeting with, or some of the players that we expect him to be meeting with. My name thrown out there is Isaac Hayden, defensive midfielder. Yeah, playing for Norwich City at the moment.
Yeah.
Norwich at the moment, right?
Yeah, I'm going for Norwich.
All right. How do you feel about that inclusion?
That's the biggest one. First and foremost, I think that's the linchpin of his trip. And I think he'll be making other stops and speaking to other players, but I think Isaac Hayden is the main prize They already have a meeting confirmed according to Reggae Boyz commentary. So that's something that I'm really excited about. I think that's that position and the right back position are the two positions that we really have a great deficit in, and I think could really use some consolidation. And Isaac Hayden is not just consolidation. Isaac Hayden would be very competent and a very, very solid player in that position. We've seen him play very, very, very good Premier League football. We've seen him get good mates at an upgraded Newcastle now. Unfortunately, Newcastle is doing so well and importing so many even better players than him that he finds himself in the situation that he finds himself in. But I do believe that he's a top level championship team, lower level Premier League team. It just so happens that Newcastle is a Champions League team at the moment based on how they're playing. So that's why he's kind of been pushed out of that system. But Isaac Hayden, definitely a Premier League baller and definitely a competent player and a versatile player and a big, strong player. Had some issues with Jamaica in the past, not wanting to commit so on and so forth. But I mean, I think considering that he's playing for Norwich in the Championship, he can kiss an English call up. He can even kiss the hope of that ever happening. Goodbye. Because Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, they were born after us. So I don't see it in Isaac Hayden's future. And Calvin Phillips is also younger than Isaac Hayden as well. And Calvin Phillips cannot get a look in on the field. So I think Isaac Hayden understands that his English days or his time to represent England is no more. And I think because of that, he's probably open to take it, to reconsider his stance. And if he comes and is fully committed, then I'd still accept him without norms, considering that we need him in that position.
The thing is, he's made his position very clear. He said that he's focused on playing for England a couple years ago, but Jamaica will always be there. I didn't quite like it, it rubbed me the wrong way, but it's the truth. And, players that can play for more than one countries, have that option, and he was embracing his options. At the moment, right now, I think it's the smart thing to do to represent Jamaica. At the moment, he's 27 right now?
Yep.
Somewhere around there. So he still will have a World Cup, maybe two in him, if he continues to progress. And man, I would like this move. I would absolutely be excited for this move. Our defensive midfielder spot in the Reggae Boyz team right now is not great. Now I feel like that is the position. That's the one position that we need to lock up. There are some other players that Mr. Adamson will be meeting with. But this is the one that we need. I feel like this is the one that could make the most improvement in our squad right now. So excited for this one. Another player that it's rumored that he's meeting with, or I expect him to meet with, is a Max Aarons from the same club. Mason Owen get him, though we don't necessarily need a centre back right now. But could fit in that right back position. Damari Gray, some of those players, Amari Hutchinson to secure that one. While they're in England, why not? Why not meet with these players and sell them the goal of making it to 2026 World Cup?
Yeah, I think Isaac Hayden is a name that I've heard. Damari Gray is a name that I've also heard. You said the central defensive midfield position is a spot that we need to shore up. I think that and our right back position. We have the likes of Ben Johnson playing for England, who is playing for West Ham. On England's radar, and so is Max Aarons. If we can manage to, because I think in those cases, it would be if we can manage to snatch one of those players, to poach one of those players, that would be really amazing for a program, because those two young men, 21 and 22 respectively, are holding out hope of playing for England, and by all means, because they have represented England before at youth levels, both of them are on Gareth Southgate's radar. So we can understand why they would be, as Jamaica did a whole ardent on the program, because they do have a shot in at the English team. But if Hal Grimston can say his nice words and get one of them into our program, that would be huge.
Yeah, and I think he's the man to sell it, because if they look at their chances, if you look at the right back position right now, you see Trent struggling to play. You have a Trippier. You have but Trippier. The only thing that's saving them is the fact that they're young. You still have a Reece James around there. Still have a Kyle Walker around there.
Kyle Walker old, Trippier old. So those two men, Max Aarons and Ben Johnson, won't have anything to worry about. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece James are a bit older than they are, because they're
Ben White.
Huh?
Ben White.
All of them, Trent, Ben White, and Reece James are all older than they are by a couple of years. So I think they back themselves, especially Ben Johnson, who I hear is big on Southgate's radar. He really back himself to make some strides and to become what those guys are by the time he's 24. So it's going to be a hard sell for those two boys, considering that they are really good and they are actually on the radar. So
Mhm.
just managing to poach one of those guys would be extremely impressive, but I'm not really expecting much from either of those guys, considering that they're still in for a shot at England team. Like both those guys still get called up for under 21s every single time. So both of them are still well involved in the England setup. It's not like they're on the outskirts.
Yeah,
Um,
that's close enough. That's where you want to be as a under 21 player.
yeah, and somebody else, Ivan Tony, could be
Mm-hmm.
somebody to be looked at. He was
Anyway,
was he was snubbed unlawfully, egregiously. He was snubbed from this World Cup team. He was absolutely outstanding for Brentford, beginning to wear the captain's armband from them and leading them from the front, scoring goals left, right, and centre, and being an absolute menace to all Premier League defenders that he comes up against. I was absolutely shocked that he wasn't involved in the team.
yeah.
Ivan Toney, take some revenge. You
Yeah,
know?
it could be mad. It could be mad at England, man. It could be mad at England. Um, I haven't seen much interest from Ivan to come play for Jamaica. In fact, in an interview close to the World Cup, yeah. Now, when he got called up last year, he said that he's focused on playing for England and Jamaica is not on his radar right now. But who knows? Things could change, man. We're living in a different world right now.
Different
Um,
world.
Another thing to speak about is who we think is Jamaica's best player, Leon Bailey. Had a rough go at it in the Premier League just a couple of days ago. Having a decent season, I think, getting the trust of Unai Emery, starting all of the games so far, but not quite, having that end product that we need to see from Leon Bailey. How do you feel about Leon Bailey's season so far?
The season kicked off and it's been up and down, with the change of coaches, him having to earn the trust of the previous coach, and I think doing enough to earn the trust of the current coach right now, getting his start and getting into good spots and showing his class. What happened in the most recent game that Aston Villa played was just frankly unfortunate. But I think
Yeah.
he will bounce back, and the fact that he's getting himself into good positions, he's creating, he's getting chances, can only be up from here for Leon Bailey. Still playing good football in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. Can improve, and I think will improve.
Yeah, and um, as I say, it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate, and we want to see him kick into some sort of form before March. We're going to go on a run right now. Premier League will go on a run straight up until that point. And we need a foot, we need a fit, we need an unformed Liam Bailey if we're going to go to Mexico. And
We
I
have
think that
to
we
win. We have to
yeah,
win to qualify. We have to win in Mexico to qualify for the semi-finals.
exactly. So we need him firing. His reaction to missing that goal, man. I don't know, but I feel like he can pick it up, and the moment Liam Bailey starts finishing, he will be leading all the shows on YouTube and all the shows on TV because he's getting in the positions and he's getting chances. He's
Yeah.
just not taking them. So I'm not mad at him right now. Just get that ball into the goal, Liam Bailey, and do it very soon. Another player that we need to talk about is Bobby De Cordova-Reid.
Mm.
Man, is this guy playing some good football for Fulham in the Premier League? No, he's not. He's not. Go
I
for
think
it. Go for it.
I think he heard when I looked in the camera and I said, if this man doesn't get recalled for the national team or isn't in any national team going forward, a riot and pandemonium and hell. And I think he heard me and I lit a fire under him because he just recently extended with Fulham, and rightfully so. He's being one of their best players, a perennial starter, a top player, Bobby Bobby Reed. Bro, I think he starts in the Nations League.
Yeah, right now, Bobby Reid is on form. He's not required to score all the goals for Fulham
Yeah,
because they have Mitrovic. But what he's required to do, he's doing. He's required to be dangerous. He's required to cause problem from wide positions. He's required to give those defenders something to think about. And that's exactly what Bobby Reid is doing, popping up with the odd goal and odd assist. So it's probably a little bit more than even the odd goal and odd assist because
yeah,
he's
that's
doing.
what I was just about to say. Like, I don't think this is the odd goal. But what
Yes, sir.
I saw something Fulham have been doing from time to time. With three at the back and playing Bobby Reid as a right back or a right wing back.
Yep, I've seen it.
Is that something that we could consider? Providing more width for the team, allowing us to play our three best defenders, allowing us to play two central midfielders and having the ability to switch from a 3 to a 4 if we use Mariappa as a sweeper. Mariappa can push out to the right back. Bobby Reed can push up in the field, make it 4-3-3, make it 4-4-4. I think playing Bobby Reed as a right wing back can open up so many doors for Jamaica. What do you think?
I'm not mad at it. The only thing is just that that's a new. Well, this is the perfect time to do it. So I'm going to take that back. New coach, just one training camp so far, with the Cameroon friendly. So if we're going to think about a style change, a system change, then this is the time to do it. Three of our best players are defenders. We talk about Ethan Pinnock, we talk about Damian Lowe, talk about Mariappa, who is just getting up in age, but still one of the best players in this team and one of the best defenders. Mm-hmm. So we still have a Liam Moore. We still have a Richard King coming behind them.
Yeah.
So some of our best players in this Reggae Boy team are defenders. So if we could get all of them on the pitch, and most of them on the pitch, secure that back line with the versatility of one of them pushing up to the right side.
Mm-hmm. Mariappa.
I wouldn't be mad at it. In fact, I think it's something that could work. And it would also give players like a Leon Bailey and a Shaman Nicholson some freedom up there and don't ask them to track back as much, even though they still have to do their pressing and defensive work. I wouldn't be mad at something like that. And this, as I said, this is the time to do it.
Bobby running up and down and if we're leading 1-0 or whatever, we can take off Bobby Reed and bring on Javier Brown. Like that's definitely something that we could consider. We obviously have the Greg Lee and the Amari Bell, who is going to be the left back or left wing back. Both of them have the ability to play either positions. I don't necessarily think we have any right wing backs right now. No. I don't. Mariappa is not necessarily that. Neither is Javier Brown. I think Javier Brown is a right back. I think Mariappa is a centre back and can play the right back. I think with Bobby Reed playing like that, we could put 3 in the midfield, we could put 2 up top. Bobby Reed could overlap, Leon Bailey could get a free roll, Rafael Morrison could support. I think there's so much that can come from Bobby Reed playing that role, and I've seen him do it for Fulham when required, and he does it well. Not the greatest defensively, but he works hard, he comes back, he makes tackles, and he puts his body on the line. That Bobby the Cardova Reed. Something that I'd like to see experimented with.
Good show from Yoma at this side at Sports TV. Another thing to talk about and something that I would like to see from the Reggae Boyz is a long throw from Ethan Pinnock. Ethan Pinnock is back from injury for Brentford, and he's been playing well. It's seamless. It's almost like he wasn't injured, and he looks just as good as he was playing before he got injured.
Back like he never left.
Just like that. How do you feel about Ethan?
Ethan Pinnock, he's our best defender, and he may well be our best player. On some days, he's definitely our best player. Especially if Leon Bailey loses form, I think Ethan Pinnock can slot in easily as Jamaica's #1 player. I think he's that good, and he's one of the best defenders in CONCACAF. You talk about the likes of Zimmerman, who starts for the United States of America, who plays in the MLS. I think Zimmerman would love to be included in a Brentford team right now, and we have a centre back who's playing at that level, who has in his past received Team of the Weeks, and had he not been injured, I think he would have been in contention for many this season, especially the way Brentford has played since he's come back. Brentford has looked like a whole different team. They've gotten their left centre back in a back 3 back, and everything is okay again for Brentford. Just check the stats.
Yeah, and man, if we can get all these players on form and playing well for their club and for country, for Jamaica when they come back, I'm looking forward to seeing big things from Jamaica. And this is where everything needs to start going uphill. Ethan Pinnock, excited to see him back for Jamaica. But let's talk about someone who could, and a lot of people will say, now that he got the move, he should be playing for Jamaica. Let's talk about Tyreek Zimenez and his move to Belgium. Well, Bruges. How do you feel about that move?
Who is saying now that he got the contract, he should be called up? Who is saying that?
I'm saying people could say that. No, I'm not saying that.
Based on this other Sports TV's criteria of...
He's now eligible.
Yeah. And a big move, developmental move. Tyreek Zimenez, is he a right back or has he now become a left winger?
Yeah.
If he's a left winger, no chance.
No chance, no
No
chance.
chance to see this national squad. As a right back, let's see how he looks. If that's the position that he plays, I think that's where we're weakest. That and the central defensive midfield. So if he goes and he's playing at the wing back position and he's looking very well, there's definitely a chance that he can find himself back in the national setup. Contrary to what many would have believed just a couple of months ago. But 6 months of development is a lot of time, especially for a youngster just becoming 18 years old. Who knows? He already has the physical gifts. Don't get me wrong. He's
Yeah.
a very good footballer, much better than me and you, and that's for sure. So let's see what he does in Belgium, and let's see which position he plays, and how well that can translate back to the national team.
Yeah, the thing about Tariq Zimenez is we've seen him play as an attacker in the schoolboy football competition. I expected him to stand out much more than he did.
Yeah,
But as a right back last season, he was good and he was one of the best players in the Money Cup as a
and
defender.
and the
So
Jamaica Premier League as a
there,
right back. He bombed forward and he scored goals when
there
he
we
played in
go.
the GPL.
So if this is, I think this is where his position is. Obviously, he got some exposure up there in the attacking third of the pitch. I guess that was to work on his, overlapping and attacking side of his game. But I feel like his best position is at right back. And if he's going to, this is keeping up with the Reggae Boys, and if he's going to have a chance of playing for the Reggae Boys, it is going to have to come at right back. That is one of the most uncertain positions in the team right now. And he got a big move to Belgium. They are currently sitting in the 9th spot or the 10th spot in the Pro League. Go there, it will probably take him some time to get his feet, on the ground and get playing. But once he gets playing,
He
take
goes
him
there and impresses and gets into the starting lineup, man. Javier, don't know.
have to be
Yeah,
called. Exactly.
yeah. So, he got his start for Jamaica against Canada at the right back position. That's where I hope he hones his skills, because I really do believe that that's his best position. So let's see what becomes of Mr. Zimenez. But congratulations, young fella. This is the type of thing we're talking about. You cannot be playing in the JPL and be expecting to get in a national team call up. It's absurd considering that we have so many professional footballers playing all over this great, vast world.
You know what a lot of people, say? Tariq Zimenez played in the JPL, got his call up. He played for Jamaica. Maybe that call up for Jamaica is what got him onto people's radar. No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that what Tariq Zimenez has is, a really good agent and blah blah blah. But a lot of people will say that the exposure, him being able to put an international cap for a good team in the world on his CV is what got him a move to Belgium. What say you to those people? Because I can see them making that argument. Something that I wouldn't agree with.
No, but then we talk about other people like Cephas and like other players who would have gotten that call up without even being looked in for Jamaica. And it's so funny, when Cephas got his contract and got his call up, he rejected it, which I'm not a fan of, saying that he wants to be settled and so on and so forth. When Jamaica comes calling, like, you go running. That's how it should be, in my opinion. But there are people who did it without getting the national call up. So that's what I would say to those people.
There we go. This is keeping up with Reggae Boy. Is there any topic or any player that we didn't touch? I know Lamar Walker's getting some interest from, I think, Preston, I heard. A lot of players out there, this is what I like to see, man. Players making it outside of Jamaica and understanding that is where it is. Playing in the Jamaican Premier League is not the level that we want to see our national players playing at. And there are obviously people that serves them well, and playing in Jamaica is, put food on the table for their family or whatever. But as far as the Reggae Boys team go, the JPL is not what I want to see. I see Alex Marshall is back in the JPL at RW. What do you make of a move like that? Is that a backward step coming from the CPL in Canada?
Naturally. The quality in the JPL and the CPL may very well be similar.
I'm not sure, man. If I was to reply to that, I would be lying.
But the money is slightly better in Canada, so not sure why he would make that backward move. But we'll have to try and find more information on that. And lastly, on keeping up with the Reggae Boys, just a little preview. We'll in the next show we'll be speaking about the national under 17 team. So
Yep.
tune in on Tuesday for that, guys. That will be very interesting. But what I've seen from that team is a lot of MLS Academy players.
Love to
What
see.
do you make of that?
And this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see players playing at a higher level. No, we do have a lot of high school players in Jamaica playing at 16 and 15 and 17 years old playing in the under 19 competition,
Yeah,
which clearly states that they're playing above their level. They're playing one age group above, where they should be playing. So I'm excited for that. But embracing those dual nationals or embracing those players that are eligible to play for Jamaica is something that I've been open to. I've always been open to it, and I like to see players playing at that level, playing at the academy level. The players that, because those are the best of the best, and even those are not even guaranteed to make it, but they
yeah,
are already in the positions that they should be in. Not trying to make some high school team, not playing for some low-level team in Jamaica, but at the highest level for your age group. And
Inter
I'm excited
Miami,
for that, man.
FC Dallas, so on and so forth. Like one to look out for is Joshua Grant,
Yeah.
goalkeeper. 15 years old. He's so tall. He's already so much taller than everybody else, and he's a very, very solid goalkeeper. And I think he might get the starting spot. I'm excited to see what he has to offer. But we will definitely delve way deeper into all of these topics on Tuesday's show.
Here we go. People, 2 segments down, one to go. This is Studio Talk. Thank you guys for watching. On the next segment, we'll be talking about some EPL, but not just the EPL. We'll be talking about the fantasy.
Can we not talk about fantasy this week? We can skip
Mm,
that segment
we can't give 5 minutes, man. Oh, God, man. We
because
can't give 5 minutes.
I've yeah I've not been having a good go at it recently, so I don't want to delve into the fantasy right now. I'd love to just skip it.
If that is the reason why you don't want to talk about it, then we have to talk about it. So, people, it's a fantasy Premier League show. After this, stay tuned for more Studio Talk. All right, welcome back to Studio Talk, everybody. And it's a Fantasy Premier League show. Yeah, we're here to talk about the EPL and the game that we've been playing. Some people doing well, some people not quite. We're going to talk about the standings of our in the This or That Sports League, and we're going to browse over our teams and the players that are doing well in our league. So give me a second while I pop the drummer. You can tell them about how you feel about your first year so far in the Fantasy Premier League.
Well, let me tell you, to be frank and to be totally honest, it started off just as I expected. I was outstanding, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
some there's some things that happen in life that you can't really help. You know, um, I'm a true fan and I hate Manchester United, but
yeah.
But Rush can say distinctly that Rashford and Harry Kane are two players that I genuinely have a soft spot for. I wish they had played for different teams, but unfortunately they don't. So I saw how good that they were going to be. So me omitting them is not because I'm bad at the game. It's just because I'm a better fan than Rush is. So at the end of the day, that's the only reason why I've been slipping recently in the standings. But I have a strong feeling that I will be on the rise very, very soon. Watch
People,
out.
I've been telling this guy, right? Play the game. Just play the game. That has nothing to do with your fandom. What you and who you select into your team has nothing to do with the actual fixture. That will not change how they play. I've been telling him before the season starts. Him being hard-headed, him being stubborn and not listening to the man who has been doing well over the years. Yeah, it's his fault. So people, I can't take blame for his incompetence. He
Let's
just
let's let, let's just say that Rush is happy that I'm a better fan than he is because he would have been annihilated by a rookie had I decided to do what
see.
I.
All right. See the thing is, he says that he's a better fan. My thing is, I'm not even competing with Joe Graham in fantasy. I'm trying to win this thing. I'm currently at 100 and something in Jamaica, and I'm trying to be at number one. And this guy keeps focusing on me. I get looking up is a natural thing to do. So I'm
You
looking at number one, and he's
know
looking
what,
at where I am.
Virgin, Your neck just start feel a little better from all looking up that you've been doing at the beginning of the season. You know?
Halfway the season, World Cup break, where were you?
I was like 4 points behind you, but that was the first time you led
Yeah,
me in the month.
exactly behind. I mean,
That's
halfway
the
the
first
season,
time
you're
in that's the
behind.
first time in 3 months that you were ahead of me.
Halfway the season, you are behind. Anyways, let's get into the thing now, Bridget. Fantasy Premier League, this or that sports league. Dale Burrell is leading. You might see why I'm laughing, but Dale Burrell is leading the standings right now. A weird name. A weird name.
Dilber is about 15 Jamaica now. He slipped.
Man, but he's been doing well, bro. And I don't even he didn't start the league with us,
Mm-mm.
but he's there now and he's blowing a lot of us out the water, man. He's currently at 1,213 points. Next best is Davian Shakes, college man. 1,153 points behind him. Man, it's going to take some catching up. And I'm in third position at 100 with 1,149 points. Where are you sitting? Hold on, I have a scroll. Oh, I'm not have a scroll. You're in they're in ninth position with 1,108 points. Just 38 points this week, bro. Let's click on the team and talk about it for a second.
All right, so as you would know, the Christmas season is around, and it was a time to spend with friends and family. And this match week popped up very, very suddenly. You can attest to that. Be honest.
Yeah,
Weren't
yeah,
you, weren't you lucky this week?
I didn't set my team for the last week.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I had Ivan Tony who has been on a tear. I didn't get the chance to move him out. I didn't get the chance to implement my Chelsea players and my Fulham players because Andres Pereira is somebody that I definitely would have probably gone for. I would have probably captained Mitrovic. So all in all, I think things would have been better for me had I gotten to look over my team. Um, Additionally, I've been itching to put Rashford and Harry Kane in my team, and had I done that, had I done what I really wanted to do, I would have been doing just as well as anybody else. So I'd blame friends and family, Christmas holiday. I'd blame the fact that I'm a great fan. I'd blame everything else except myself, because really and truly, had it been up to me and me getting to do what I want. I would be on top right now, but it's sometimes in life it's as it is. But like the Phoenix, we will rise again and we will rise bigger and better and better. You know?
All right. So the thing is, bro, that's exactly where I started. That's exactly where I started. But now I put in no Tottenham, no man new man. Couple years ago, or 4 years ago, and see they are me this now. Couple years later, I use them. So people make us see what I said next year. You see me? So yeah, that's your team, bro. I'm here the Warding goal, Cancelo. A lot of people shipping out Cancelo. I'm going to look at this at the status of those players right now, but I think he's one of the most transferred out players. Saliba and Trippier did well for you though. I guess the saving grace. 7 points and 8 points respectively. De Bruyne with 3 points, Saka with 3 points, Almiron with 2 points, Martinelli with 3 points. Haaland, this is a blank week for Haaland. We don't see a lot of those. 4 points because he's a captain, so he got two. Ivan Toney with 0 points. Mitrovic with 5 points, and you still have one game. Mitrovic will play Chelsea for the
Yeah.
second game of the
Mitrovic,
WFL.
Mitrovic is who I wanted to captain. I didn't get obviously you know how that goes. Because I'm pretty sure you'd have probably gotten in Mitrovic as well.
Mm-hmm.
And captained him. Am I right?
Yeah, but even so, not a great first game, 5 points. I definitely want more than that. But I'd take it. I
Five
would take it.
points is still more than Haaland, 5 points, and chance that he'll
Yeah,
score
yeah,
against Chelsea. So I think captaining him would be the right shout.
yeah, for sure. Let's go back and take a look at my team real quick. All right, so the Chef CLI. So I got 62 points. This is I can't even say purely luck because I set my team for these weeks. But Nick Pope in goal against Arsenal. Man, again, Joe was going to say something about Fanda, but I didn't even set my team. So I wasn't saying that Pope will keep a clean sheet versus Arsenal. Because I'm an Arsenal fan. I see the badge right there. But 10 points, I'll definitely take that. If Arsenal were not going to score, then this match needed to end in a nil draw. So I would take that. Trippier with 8 points. This kid kid. This man just doesn't stop getting bonus points. I can't do it 1 point. I need to do something about that right there. Ben White with 7 points. I take it. Salah with 2, Foden with 1, Martinelli with 3, Almiron with 2. All blanking. Salah boy, I think you have one more week. Rashford, saving me this week along with Harry Kane. 8 points and 14 points respectively, and then Haaland with 4 points as my captain. 62 on the week. I'd take it, especially for a week where a lot of people didn't get above 6 points. And that's not even a shot at you, bro. So I'm talking about just generally. A lot of people didn't get over
I
60
just
points.
said I didn't set up my team. I didn't set up my team. You
Yes.
just try to make sure so your team set up next week. Next week, Spurs have double week, City have double week. Let's
Yeah,
see
and
who we
we have
can
a
catch.
little break here now. We have a little break here for the weekend. FA Cup are play, so match now play until what, Thursday or something? That's
Tuesday
on
and Mitrovic.
Tuesday.
But
So
that's for last week, so it's still what.
yes. Yeah, people. Let's look at the status real quick before we close out the show. This will be a short one. The status of some players. So the team of the week is Lena Shaw, Doherty, Perisic, Ream, March, Casemiro, Chamberlain, Kane, Mbuemo, and Ferguson. Who's your player of the week?
My player of the week, I'm surprised that I didn't see Rashford here. But a Harry Kane. I thought based on how Rashford played, Rashford seemed as shooing, but I guess other games were played in the Premier League that I just wasn't paying that much attention to. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think it has to be Kane or Rashford, doesn't it?
Yeah, Perisic had a really good game for Tottenham, though. Not racking up on the most points in the week. That was Harry Kane. So I'm going to
Yeah.
give the player of the week for Harry Kane. Not
Mhm.
trying to go against the grain here. So Harry Kane, player of the week. Top transfer out this week. Trossard, Ivan Toney, Salah, Cancelo there, and Darwin Nunes.
Well, people, one thing I can tell you is
Yeah, you know that.
that Trossard, Tony, Cancelo were all out of my team this year.
So you contribute to that stat.
Week, yeah.
Then.
And on this side, on this
Yeah,
side,
Rashford, Kane, Mitrovic, and Shaw. And Odegaard, transfer in.
well, could you see Joe Mara having a few of those imports this year? Let's see this week.
See? You can't. All right. You've been having a bad couple of weeks. So, make I told you a moment. Talk to me about Odegaard.
Oh yeah. All right. So Martin Odegaard, people. At the beginning of the season, I was like, just get Odegaard in your fantasy and you win because Odegaard is going to score goals and he's going to get assists. And I was just like, oh, you don't understand the game, this, that, this, that, this, that. But what he doesn't know is that though I'm a rookie, I see it clear, isn't me? Yeah, me have clairvoyance. Like, I can see things where people might not even see on a regular level. But because I have like a little gift there, you get me? I say, I can see it far. So, oh God, man, for my first season, I just some little nuances hit me up with
Bro,
scope.
just halfway. I just halfway. This you could turn it around. Nine position, but you're not far off. 150 points. That's not a lot. That's not a lot when you have 18 more games to go. Or
You
19
don't
more
have to tell
games
me
to go.
that. Stop trying, big friend.
No,
Run,
I'm not
run,
even a big friend, bro.
run, me and don't come kill it, bro. We can
I'm
set
not.
up, we can
Listen,
set up on YouTube.
hear what? I'm not concerned about you. You see, if you win, you see, if you come first in Jamaica, or you get a manager of the week,
Yeah.
me happy for you, bro. You don't sound like you're happy for me. I'm gonna love that. See it, you can't even say what happy for me. And that me I talk about Bridging. Would I happy for you? But honestly, would I say, yo, but what? My G I get game, and my G I get football, I must say I get jersey and some things from EPL. But happy for you, bro. But see, and really everybody make like me still. Bad man was on that over. I say go. But anyways, we're going for the number one spot in Jamaica. People, this is Studio Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. What do you feel about this week's show, bro?
Good little show, probably if not next
No,
week.
let's take out the little out. Take one again.
It's a good big show.
All
Probably,
right.
probably if not next week, the week after next, we might have our first guest. We might go back to having our customary guest on this FPL show.
Mhm.
There's a lot to speak about, a lot to go down on next week's show. What we'll be speaking about.
And next week's show we'll definitely have another keeps up with the Reggae Boys, and in that segment, it will be heavily, predicated on under 17 squad. I'm expecting it to be released next week. They have a final training camp with 37 players. We heard that some players were removed, and some of those players are from a specific camp. We'll
Yeah.
definitely do some research, and based on what we find, we'll definitely come and do a show about it. The performance of that under 17 team, we'll definitely talk about it. The All Manning Cup game, we'll do a quick revision. A lot of things to talk about.
Yeah,
In next week's
there's
show.
going to be an all schoolboy team that will be traveling to Fort Lauderdale to play a competition. Will this or that sports TV be there? Who knows? But there's a lot to come and there's a lot to unpack in the world of sports in Jamaica, and we are here for it
Oh,
100%.
one more thing. JPL. JPL. I think our not I think our JPL coverage starts next week, people. Next week.
Tomorrow.
Um, tomorrow. Today is Saturday, so tomorrow. A lot of the things that you saw, a lot of the coverage that you received when the schoolboy football season was going on, you will definitely receive that from the JPL. I want you guys to, build up the football inside of Jamaica again, man. We love watching football, So we need the people them for watch the YouTube and watch the shows that we do speaking about the football. Interviews, hopefully some team features, vlogs, all of it. We're going to be talking about it. Post-game analysis, all that, right? It's coming back. So JPL coverage starts next week. Studio Talk on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You see it?
Never issue, because today I came to work, I went in the studio and I looked and I only saw one chair. It was just my chair. My question to you is why? Why you never show up in the studio today?
I think you need to pick that up with the showrunners. They sent a message to me and said that we could do the show remotely today. We could do it from different locations. So I took advantage of that. People, Rush is still here. Jomar is still here. Emil is still there. Look out for Emil start, by the way. That will
Yeah.
be released, I think, tomorrow. So people, look out for that. Maybe today or tomorrow. Emil start, studio talk, getting to know,
Versus
versus.
everything and anything you can think of. Premier
Ready.
League post-game analysis that will be coming back, post-game interviews. You might see a vlog with the whole squad. People, stay tuned. And thank you so much for tuning in to Studio Talk. Another banging hour again. And if you're still watching to this point, say, I'm here in the comment section.
Yeah,
We'll
please.
definitely respond to it.
We need to know. I need people to watch the show. So comment. I am still here. I am here. Just make you know so you're there. People, if you like this episode of Studio Talk, don't forget to like the video. Leave a comment on this one and subscribe to this or that Sports TV. Please do one more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get to 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day?
A lot. But no, people, this is another episode of Studio Talk. Brought to you by Jomar and Rush on the side at Sports TV. And we out.